The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Game week for the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers is coming back to town. Will he get revenge on the Jets? We'll talk about that and much more. GreenBean's going to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, game week is here. Let's hit it and get it started. Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's with
Nobody gives a shit.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. Click the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Big things ahead for the New York Jets. A reminder, we will be with you every step of the way on YouTube and in audio form. Check out the show on either Apple or Spotify if you miss the live YouTube show and want to take us on the go. Leave a 5-star review. Later this week, we're going to read some of the funniest reviews that Asmaniacs have left about this show. Joining us right now is one of the funniest people in our Jets YouTube community. He is the absolute man. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to GreenBean. GB, game week. Let's go, baby.
What's happening, man? How you doing?
You're going to be in the building Sunday. Are you finally going to see your first offensive touchdown scored by the Jets since what, 2015, I believe you've said?
2018.
2018.
I haven't seen a victory since 2015. I haven't seen an offensive touchdown since 2018. But we have a trick, Jake. So who was it? NY Bronx? Somebody at one of our chat guys. Or maybe it was Blitz BK. I forget. But he has data to support the idea that if I walk in backwards, from the parking lot all the way to my seat backwards, that I might be able to break the curse. So that's what I'm going to do. It's all for us, man. I'll do whatever it takes. You know what I mean, Jake?
I love it. Well, I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it. On one hand, people are going to say, oh, no, GreenBean's going. We're going to lose. He's a jinx. But if you believe in do, there's no one more due than you. Plus, you throw in the fact that since you, O'Leary, and Ryan have done Talking Jets, and you guys have done these group buys, these game meetups, you guys have yet to see a win. I believe in do. So I'm trying to manifest the positive vibes here on Tuesday.
I am too, man. I got to believe. I mean, look, I'm in Virginia. It takes 7 hours or so to get up there. We have the Bezara Festival the day before. Then we go into this thing, at 7:30 in the morning. I'm at the stadium all day at Tailgate Joe. And then you would think that years of this, one time I can see some offense and maybe even a win. And if it's going to happen against Aaron Rodgers, Jake, I mean, come on, dude. This game has Jets fan pain written all over it.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe this is the year we flip it and punch him in his face and make him look old and just get me out of there with a damn victory.
God. Oh, my goodness. We will get to all that. Before we do, though, I do want to start with this. Hey, how's college football treating you, Bill Belichick? Yeah, buddy. Love it. Belichick embarrassed last night, getting absolutely torched nationally and rightfully so. His UNC Tar Heels lose 48-14. It really was not even that close. This game was over at halftime. They went down the field on their opening possession and scored a touchdown. And then after that, it was all TCU. I was at the U.S. Open last night, GreenBean, but I was following this game on my phone. And at first I was like, oh, no. They go right down the field. Is Belichick actually going to be good in college? And then thankfully, TCU said, not so fast, to quote Lee Corso. And I don't know. I really enjoyed the absolute ass kicking that Bill Belichick experienced last night. Couldn't happen to a bigger a-hole. So I want your thoughts on that, because this was awesome to follow along last night.
Yeah, it was the best. And you know what? You know what made it even better? Like you said, it couldn't have happened to a bigger a-hole. I mean, it's perfectly stated. But they made like it was like the week leading up. It seemed like I heard Bill Belichick. Like it was like every time I turned around, it was like Bill Belichick and he's going to take over college football and he's going to change the landscape. And I'm like, oh, this guy, please go away already. And then he goes into game one and he gets positively shellacked, not just lose. Fucking the floor wiped with him. So that made me very happy. It was like it put a little pep in my step last night. It was nice, Jake.
It's a good start to the Jet season. Belichick going down. And by the way, how about the fact that now, if you think about it, Belichick's last 2 games that he's coached, he loses to Robert Saleh and the Jets, and then he follows that up now in his debut as a college football coach, losing at home with Michael Jordan, Mia Hamm, Lawrence Taylor, all these distinguished UNC greats. Losing at home 48-14. I mean, I was giddy. I woke up with a pep in my step, not just because the football season for the Jets is finally here, but because Bill Belichick, noted a-hole, was embarrassed nationally last night.
Well, you know what? I like how you just said that. I didn't even equate like his first college game as a loss and then connect that to his last game as, the head coach of the Patriots. But that's also the game where Robert Saleh's numbers guy, Hall has 1,000 yards, and then he needed 4 yards or 6 yards, something like that, to get 1,000.
Yep.
Walked off the field. Oh man, I'll tell you. But that was good. Breece Hall went off. He needed like 158 yards to get 1,000, and he got 152. You know what I mean? It was like crazy. He
was 6 yards short of 1,000 coming off the ACL, and that's why I am confident that if Breece is healthy, I think we're really just like we've gone way too far with the Breece Hall conversation in general. I think he's going to be a huge part of this offense, and hopefully he has a monster game on Sunday.
Hey, I got a good spin for you. Are you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
All right, look. Now I want to tell everybody. So you guys know, if you've watched me or whatever, I really do my best to be on the positive side of things, right? I was a negative Nelly for a long time, walking out of Giant Stadium looking for fights and shit like that. But I've been positive since I've been on YouTube. I try. This year I'm positive, but I don't have any real illusions, right? Like if we have a miracle season, fantastic. I'm here for it. But here's the thing with the Breece Hall trade stuff. There is so little actual drama on this team. Like there's no contract disputes before training camp. There's no holdouts. There's no Reddick. There's nothing. So they have to take the one thing because we have, our running back room is the strongest unit on the team. I mean, look, if our offensive line develops into that, great. Cornerback, we have some potential there, but the truth is the strength of this team is our running back room. We have really 4 guys, and Wangu, the weakest of them, but he showed up in preseason. But dude, the first 3 guys are studs. I would be happy to have any of those guys as my number 1. So think about it, Jake. There is so little drama that they're taking the strongest unit on the team and they're constantly talking about trade, all these trade scenarios. And when you back the trade scenario up, like where did this come from? It's like it grows legs and everybody's like, oh, trade scenario. And then you back it up and it's just some 14-year-old kid's like, it'd be a good idea, on Twitter. And hey, what if we traded this? And that's always what it is. It's just it's like a hypothetical scenario and everybody grabs it and it becomes like real, So I think it's a positive. The fact that we're constantly talking about Breece Hall being traded, that's a positive for what Aaron Glenn has done in just a few short months that he's been here. There's no drama, Jake. Malachi Corley. What is that? That's like that's the biggest drama that we've had, right? Can you think of anything else? I can't.
I'm right there with you. And look, there's a lot that has to happen this year for, I think, the Jet fan to feel good about the direction of the team. But as we shift forward now and start to talk about Sunday, this is a huge game. I understand it's, every year, week 1 is always a big deal. But, think about what's on the line here for Aaron Glenn. If this team goes out there and they look bad against Aaron Rodgers, I think a lot of the the built up, honeymoon period for Aaron Glenn is going to come to a crashing halt if they look bad on Sunday. Like, I think it's very important for the Jets to go out there and really win this game. Like, you're playing a Steelers team that rested most of their starters in the preseason. We know Rodgers in week 1, statistically, the last 3 times he's been out there, not counting the 4 plays with the Jets in 2023, he's thrown for under 200 passing yards. Like, if you're going to get Aaron Rodgers, if you're going to get the Steelers, get them early when the Jets should be rip-roaring, ready to go. Like, I think this is such an early season litmus test for where the Jets are at, and for that buy-in that the players seemingly have for Glenn right now, for them to remain bought in. I think this game is so important for them to go out there and play well and find a way to start 1-0 and not have to think about, here's Buffalo in week 2, and we're staring 0-2, right in the face with 2 road games after that. Like, this is such a big game on Sunday that you're going to be at.
Well, it is. And it's like, again, the NFL knows what they're doing. Sorry to do that little wipey thing. I felt like I was cloudy, Jake. Like, why do I look so cloudy? I mean,
you look great, by the way. The haircut, the beard. I mean, you're ready for football season.
well, thank you. But so, like we said, like Aaron, they know what they're doing. They set this game up before Aaron Rodgers was even a member of the Steelers. But you can look at it. The Steelers had no quarterback to speak of, and they weren't drafting one. So we all knew what the deal was. Aaron Rodgers coming back. So, like, here's the negative side of things. Now, I'm not saying I'm leaning here, but here's the negative side of things. Aaron Rodgers is great, 4-time MVP, Super Bowl MVP, all this stuff. He comes to the Jets. We get 4 plays 1 year and 5 wins the next year. And then he goes to the Steelers, and it's great again. You know what I mean? What does that do to us? And that's the whole thing. Like, I don't really give I'm trying not to curse on your show, Jake. I know you're a professional. You know what I mean? I try. I don't really give a damn. Is that safe? I don't really give a hoot. All right. About like the man. I want it to be a scenario where we can't be made fun of anymore. I'm tired of us being made fun of. That's what aggravates me the most. So Aaron Rodgers coming back, it has all the trimmings of us just sitting there and watching like this, the worst game ever. But he is older. He is slow. Like you said, week 1, they haven't even really played together yet. Their offensive line is questionable. They got some good players on there, but it's questionable. Will McDonald put him right over Broderick Jones all day long. I believe Broderick Jones can't handle him. So Will McDonald just make Aaron Rodgers look as old as you can from the rip. That you can't let him get settled in like, you know what? I feel good today. You can't let that happen. And if you do, then we have a chance to kind of make a statement here, because you're right, dude. We can end up 0-3 before you know it. And look, I don't care. Again, every game is, you got to win in November and December. That's all fine. But starting 0-3 sucks, especially around here, because we are not okay. We are not a docile, calm, patient bunch.
This fan base wants a reason to believe, and not that winning week 1 means that Aaron Glenn's the guy and the Jets are going to be awesome, but you avoid that scenario you just outlined. 0-3 would be on the table. You play Tampa week 3 on the road, then you play Miami week 4. And while I think each of these games individually, anything can happen, the reality is if you go through like the first 4 games of the season, this feels like more winnable than certainly the next home game afterwards. Like, once again, I think the Jets can win this game. I think the defense will play well. I think it really could come down to what's this offense going to look like? And I hope Matt O'Leary made this point on the show a couple weeks back, and I've been referencing it ever since. I hope the fact that because Mike Tomlin has never seen what an Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilks defense specifically looks like, and he has never seen what a Tanner Engstrand and Justin Fields coordinated offense looks like, that there's that element of surprise that the Jets could use to their advantage. They could out-physical the Steelers, which I think they can, especially with some of the injuries the Steelers have on their defensive line. I think it's just going to come down to, can the offense score enough points? Because I do think the defense for the Jets will play well. As you know, I know we're all worried about Rodgers tearing them up, and certainly I've thought of that, but I think the Jets defense will play well enough to win. I just have big questions about Fields in this offense. Can they score enough damn points?
All we need to do now. Look, I've been saying this stuff. I think I'm doing okay right now with the profanity. I've been talking this.
Let it rip. Why not? Your family show other
know,
times of the day, not right now.
Well, I'll tell you, the Rich Eisen clip with what was it? Nobody gives a shit. That was maybe the best clip in your show's history.
Complete accident. Like, really, you can't make it up how that happened.
I want you to know, look, I give you as much benefit of the doubt as I give anybody, but I'm going to shoot real straight and tell your listeners I'm not buying it. I think that was beautifully set up. You're a master. It was perfect. Either way, it was hilarious.
Joining us right now is a new member of the ESPN family. He's also an
nobody gives a shit.
Hold on. I'm having some glitches here, Rich.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Nobody gives a shit.
You know what? I wish I could take credit for a GB, but StreamYard, I mean, you use StreamYard. Sometimes it just glitches. Crazy.
Sometimes it does. And that I can definitely attest to. Either way, dude, it's fantastic. I mean, there's all the what's the guy's name? I feel bad.
Beastbreaker?
The sleeper. Remember the sleeper? What was his name again?
V-Man.
V-Man. I love V-Man. But like all the stuff, over the years. But that was like,
that's your favorite. I love it.
Oh, so good. But yeah, man. So getting to our offense, I've been saying this for years, but this year I think it matters and applies more than ever before. And this is truth, everybody. 4 yards of play wins the game. Okay, not just, hey, it's pretty good that's all you need. No, it wins the game. If you get 4 yards of play, and that doesn't mean you can't get 5 and 10 and whatever else, but 4 yards of play. Think about it, Jake. 4 yards on first down, 4 yards on second down, 4 yards on third down. What do? You continually get first downs. You stay on the field for 7 to 9 minutes. Your defense is fresh. And you get you get in the end zone. That's what happens. If they can do that, if you can establish the running game and make the Steelers have to compensate, start bringing dudes up, bringing the safety into the box, that's when you can take a shot with G-Dubs or Arian Smith or maybe even the tight end, or the running backs flaring out. Dude, that's when play action works. And by the way, our quarterback isn't just a guy that can move. He's a legit running threat. So, dude, I'm all about the ground game this year. I really don't care. I want Garrett Wilson to get his 1,000. I want that streak to continue. But other than that, I don't care if we ever throw the ball. If we get 4 yards of play, maybe not the most exciting, but I'll tell you what, it's more exciting than anything we've experienced. Winning, Jake. Maybe winning more than 6 or 7 games. Right. That's pretty exciting, and I'm into it, dude. I don't care how we do it. I just want to do it.
Amen. People have said, the Jets offense could be so exciting with Justin Fields making plays. I don't care about exciting. Be boring as long as you're winning. Like this team has not won more than 7 games in a decade. Like it's the NFL by accident. You could sneak into the playoffs one year like the Giants did in this town at 9-7-1 with Daniel Jones a few years ago. So yeah. I'm right there with you. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Here's the latest live lines for the Jets-Steelers game that GB and company will be representing the Jet fan base at on Sunday. It opened at 3. It's now been bet down to 2.5. So the Jets less than a field goal underdog now at home. And the over-under at 38.5. It feels a little high to me. I would definitely lean towards the under in this game. And I think the line is right. I think this is going to be a really tight, stressful game. I wouldn't expect anything else.
Yeah, you know what that says to me? That says that they've been, Vegas, as we like to call it, they know stuff. They're smarter than everybody. They don't lose, right? Like, can we just, they know. If they're bringing it closer, they know something. They've been watching Aaron Rodgers. He looks crusty. He looks skimpy. He looks old. And they, so they're bringing the point spread a little bit tighter. I like that. That's a good sign for me. That's a good sign.
I just hope that the Jets could come out, and I think they need to pass rush the living you-know-what out of Rodgers. Make him uncomfortable. It's brand new offensive line that he's playing with. brand new receivers, brand new playbook. Like, this is the opportunity for there to be communication breakdowns and blitz pickup issues. How many times did we see that last year with the Jets where there'd be just a free rusher and no one would block that guy, and Rodgers would get killed in that Denver game, and he got killed in the game I traveled all the way out to London to see against the Vikings. Like, that to me has got to be the game plan. I want to see Quincy and Sherwood blitz. I would love to see a corner or a safety blitz. And Quinnen Williams, the last time they played Aaron Rodgers in the game that counted, he was arguably the best player on the field that day at Lambeau, maybe his best game ever as a Jet. Like, that's the type of game you need from him and the rest of the defense if the Jets are going to pull this off and start 1-0.
Yeah, dude, it would be real nice. Like, when we traded for Phillips, one of the things he said was maybe I can pull some of these double teams from Quinnen. Now, if you have a legit guy that they have to pay attention to, not only look, if JJ comes back to form and Will McDonald is, on his, upward trajectory, and you have somebody on the inside that they have to account for, maybe we start to see a Quinnen Williams cut loose. That would be amazing. Like you said, dude, that game was spectacular. He had a blocked punt in that game. Like, that was the game, Jake, that they that PFF gave him like a 60 or something like that. And then everybody yelled. He had like 3 sacks, 9 pressures, a blocked field goal, or a blocked punt. And they gave him a 60, and then everybody yelled, and they go, all right, he's a 78. And everybody's like, it's still not bad. And It's like, wait a minute, what's PFF actually doing? What is this? Are you guys paying attention? And they said, we didn't actually watch the game. And what the hell's going on over there? But
I'm rocking the sauce cheesehead helmet in honor of that game. Trying to manifest the good vibes.
Game.
Yeah.
Remember when it was all just a fanciful dream? Remember?
That team, I'm hoping we have a similar year without the collapse at the end. Like, that team had very low expectations. I remember going into the year, I picked them to go 7-10 because I was more optimistic about Zach Wilson at the time, taking a step in year 2. They won games in spite of him. They were 6-3, 7-4. Then everyone knows what happened. Mike White gets hurt. They end up losing 6 in a row. But how much fun was that 6-3 start, that 7-4 start? Like, that's what we're hoping for. If you're a Jet fan, that you catch teams off guard, your style of play just helps you win games by having an identity and out physicaling teams. Like, that's what Glenn's trying to do. I think they have the personnel to do it. I think this year we truly learned just how good of a coach the staff potentially is collectively. And just also the caveat to that is just how bad Robert Saleh and his staff were the last couple of years, holding back a team that I think does still have a lot of talent. I feel like the Jets' talent now is almost like underrated how they're discussed because of what went down last year and Rodgers no longer being here.
Which makes me more comfortable, quite frankly. That year, when we were 7 wins and 4 losses, and even the 6 wins and 3, I caught myself thinking stuff like this, and even maybe saying it. There's no way we don't make the playoffs. We got to win 1 or 2 games, and we didn't. We just lost the rest of the games because Saleh is a puss pie and he doesn't know how to keep guys engaged. Like, they got all high on themselves and, hey man, we're this and that. And that was it. It was a wrap. A great coach, or even a really good coach, knows how to keep his guys focused. Dude, we got 6 wins. We got 7 wins. There's nothing. This is still a losing record. We got to go out there and play. And when they don't, when there's guys going out there and you can tell that they're not engaged the whole first quarter and there's penalties, you got to start pulling guys. I don't care what your name is. Pull them and let everybody know. If they're going to pull that guy, they'll certainly pull. Look, if they pull Quinnen Williams because he's, fat and lazy, the whole first half, you think Tony Adams ain't thinking, well, they'll pull me too. You know what I mean? I don't have the clout Quinnen does. So that kind of stuff, like Robert Saleh, I don't know what the reason was, but he was tentative. He was very hesitant to pull his star players. And I think it served to kind of lead to those endings, like you said, in 4 years, we haven't eclipsed 7 wins. That's really all I want this year. I mean, I would love to end this bullshit playoff thing that they, they're the Jets have the longest streak in all of sports. I'm fucking tired of it, Jake. So, but it'd be real nice to do that. But if we could just year one come out and grab 8 wins and the whole Saleh regime, all the hoopla and the hubbub and the this and the that, first year already eclipsed your win total, like, yearly win total, because Robert Saleh never got past 7. That would be delightful for me.
It's unreal. I mean, if you think about it, Joe Douglas, in his 6 years, the best season he had from a record standpoint was his first year in 2019 with Adam Gase still as the coach. It wasn't even his team because he got hired after the draft and free agency. That team was 7-9. So by winning percentage, 7-9 greater than the 7-10 high water marks that Douglas achieved under Saleh. Just unreal.
Well, and Jake, and they had that 6-2 ending.
Right. They were 1-7 to start the year.
Yeah, right. But here's the truth of it. Again, like when you go back and you look at numbers, it doesn't tell the whole story. All the Jets needed to do was beat the winless Cincinnati Bengals. They had 0 victories. All we had to do was beat them, and we would have gone into 8 wins. And that year, all you needed was 8 to get in to the wild card. And guess what we didn't do? We didn't beat them. So we went in there. We were on a hot streak. We beat the Raiders and all this stuff. And we go into Cincinnati and we lose. And that is the real story of that season.
Unreal. That was the game that Gase, by the way, skipped like Thanksgiving with his family to prepare for that game. And the Jets still embarrassed themselves. Very jet-like.
He should have ate some turkey and fucking chilled out, man.
Oh, man.
He really does. He didn't, look, Gase, that whole thing with him sitting on the bench during games and writing story. I don't know what the hell he could have been writing. But anyway, Gase, that amazing.
GreenBean is our guest. He's a legend. If you have a question for him, write it in. We're going to get to your super chats. As promised, folks, the winners of our 38th Asmaniac raffle will be announced coming up in just a bit. I'm giving away a signed Fields jersey this morning, a signed Sack Exchange jersey, and a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. And don't worry, if you don't win, we're going to give away a jersey of your choosing at the end of this stream. So 4 total prizes today. Fields, Wilson, Sauce, JJ, Quinnen, and Quincy are your 6 options. So we're going to give away a jersey as a daily raffle prize at the end of the stream. And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out Tom D, who says, I'm watching from the phone. Can you give some memberships? Tom D, I got you in the Asmaniac raffle at the end of the show for, you guessed it, 10. Hit the Jet chant. Perez says, random thoughts. Sauce not making the top 100 really annoyed me. Sauce was like in like the early 20s the last 2 years, and he fell out of the top 100 completely. I think that's a good thing now, because who cares about last year? If it motivates Sauce to be what he's been at the beginning of his career, I'm all for it. I do think Sauce is going to have a big season, and I think Sunday, getting it back to the Steelers conversation, who's the one weapon on Pittsburgh that you really have to pay attention to on the outside? It's DK Metcalf, and I think it's a great matchup for Sauce. He's got to take him out of the game, and I think that will go a long way towards the Jets shutting down that Steelers offense.
Well, he did a good job against DK Metcalf before. Like he's played head-to-head, predominantly. Remember, we didn't do the thing with Sauce where he just follows the guy around like we did with Revis. But he ended up head-to-head against DK Metcalf most of the game, and he did a very, very good job. So I think he can handle it. DK's a stud, and he's the kind of wide receiver that I like. He's like physical and big and strong, and he's like that Anquan Bolden-esque. He's not quite as violent as Anquan Bolden was. Like Steve Smith, like those guys. They're like, dude, listen, man, I don't really care who you are. I'm going to dominate you today, I like those wide receivers, but I think Sauce can do a really good job against DK. And the whole trick is not giving A-Rod time for the play to develop. You got to get him, get it to him quick, or he's not getting it to him at all. That's the way I like to see. Dude, we have the potential to harass him all day long.
Yep.
That's what we need to do, man.
Thank God, man. Football is here. Let's see if the Jets Could pull it off, man. This fan base needs it. Matt from L5 says Jake is the gold standard for Jets coverage. Keep crushing it. Also, time to put Grandpa Rodgers in the ground this Sunday. L5 Burn is back. That's right. If you're going to the game, stop by L5 90 minutes before kickoff and watch. I'd imagine watching Aaron Rodgers jersey be lit up in flames ahead of Jets Steelers at MetLife.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Are we built for a green bean? Is Aaron Glenn ready?
Tell you, that just got me more pumped than when he first said it. That was good timing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
J-Boy says that Green Bean's the easiest listen on all of Jets YouTube. I agree. Green Bean, we got to get you on more this season, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do it. Dude, I'll tell you, well, I don't know if I've been called an easy listen before. So that's a very high compliment, J-Boy. That's pretty good. Usually like, oh, I like the way he makes me feel all whatever, amped up or whatever. But I don't know if I've been called an easy listen. So thank you.
Cashmere says if the Jets make it to the playoffs, does Aaron Glenn win Coach of the Year? I'd imagine if this team won 9 or 10 games and they ended the longest playoff drought in sports, Aaron Glenn would certainly be a finalist, if not the actual winner of the Coach of the Year award. It'd be very similar to remember Mangini took the 06 Jets out of nowhere to the playoffs, coming off like a 5-win disastrous season with Herm and Pennington was hurt. Then 06, Chad's healthy and he wins comeback player of the year. Mangini, I think he was either Coach of the Year or he was a finalist. But either way, like I'm hoping we get that like 06 type of season with Aaron Glenn in year one.
Man, genius, they called it, Jake.
He was on The Sopranos making a cameo because he was the man genius.
That's right, dude. Man genius. And then he busted Bill Belichick for all his shenanigans. It was crazy.
Mark says, I got a Jets win. Wilson and Brees to score anytime. Braylon Allen over 50 rushing yards and Wilson over 60 receiving yards. What do we think? I think Wilson and Brees scoring is possible. Braylon Allen's rushing yards, I think it's tricky to project because early on, are they going to try and give a lot of it to Brees and see if he can recapture what he did 2 years ago? We know Fields is going to be a huge factor in the running game. So I think Jets rushing props are very tough to predict early because we just don't know what the ball distribution is going to look like. And I think that goes for receiving yards too. Like I do think Garrett Wilson is obviously the clear-cut number one option in the passing attack, but I think this is going to be a work in progress for the offense. So I'd be weary of betting on any props involving Jets scoring touchdowns and certain stats because I think it could look at times ugly for this offense early on, which is why the defense better play their asses off.
All right. This is not financial advice, Mark. Okay. And I want you to know that as far as gambling and betting goes, I am one of the worst losers you've ever met. Okay. But I'm going to tell you right now, I feel very confident that the bet of Braylon Allen going over 50 yards rushing, dude, it's a fucking lock. It's a lock, baby. But again, remember where it's coming from. I suck at this. Okay. But I say, do it. Do it for me.
I'm in. Sign me up. Let's see. Craig with an Asmaniac super chat. Reminder raffle coming up once we get done with Green Bean's appearance, and then another raffle at the end of the show for a Jets jersey of your choosing. Craig says, greater than 38 points, Brees over 15 receiving, Mason Taylor over 20 receiving, Rodgers 1+ passing touchdown, Fields 200 total yards, rushing/passing. Is this a parlay that you have, Craig? I mean, Fields 200 total yards rushing passing. He should. Like, I'd imagine he would get that. It's the NFL.
This
Taylor,
seems like maybe a passive-aggressive kind of underhanded jab, Jake. That's what I'm feeling here. Rodgers 1+ passing touchdowns 5.
He's saying 0.5. I think this is his parlay, if I'm understanding here.
All right. Well,
good luck with your parlay, Craig. Too complicated for us right now.
Hey, good luck, Craig.
Let's see. Cashmere wants to know, who do you think could be a surprise player for the Jets this season?
Surprise player? Marcelino McCrary Ball, everybody. He better be a surprise player. I'll tell you that.
The Italian stallion?
Well, I don't even know if he's Italian. He doesn't look Italian. But, hey, Marcelino. But, hey, man, he pushed Jamin Davis off the team, and he's wearing a C. maybe he's the guy. But I'll tell you what, I think Isaiah Davis, he did some nice stuff last year, but I think this year we're going to see that we actually really like this guy.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do with some of the guys they have there to try and scheme people open and what the running game looks like. They were 31st in run block win rate last year. I think they're going to be way better in that, obviously, this year. Keith Carter, see you later. Thank God. Matt P. and the number one Austrian Jet fan, thank you both. You are in our raffle at the end of the show. Also, Sam says, AM GreenBean. Hell yeah. Thoughts on what you expect from Glenn during the game? Yeah, what type of coach is Glenn going to be? Is he going to be stoic like Salah? Is he going to be sitting on the bench alone like Gase? Your thoughts on what Aaron Glenn will be actually doing when the cameras pan to him during his time as the Jet coach?
He's going to have dudes by the face mask yelling stuff. That's what I think we're going to see. He's going to be, how about this? Engaged the entire time, even when the defense isn't on the field. Wow. Imagine that. That. You know? So I think we're going to see an engaged coach, somebody who's yelling, screaming. If somebody makes a mistake, they're going to know about it. He's not going to wait until Tuesday and say, hey, man, let's work on fixing your mistake, man. You know, like that kind of thing with Salah. What do you want me to do? Make him do push-ups? No, you want to fucking pull him from the game by his face mask. That's what you got to do, man. So I think we're going to see an animated Aaron Glenn, maybe even more than he wants to be, which is totally fine by me. So an engaged coach, animated, yelling at dudes when it's appropriate. He's not going to need a get back coach, when it's too exciting. He needs somebody to hold his belt loop. You know what I mean? That's such crap. So anyway, I think we're going to like the way Aaron Glenn's field sideline presence shows up.
Couple super chats here alluding to the same thing. Big Fella says, has GreenBean ever talked to the Beast and then party with Peg and Artie in the raffle for 2? Has GreenBean had the pleasure of a global enforcer call-in? Have you ever spoken to Beastbreaker 666?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Sure.
There's no better time than right now.
Today's world is asinine. If you really look at how the world has gone upside down to a complete flip 180. And folks, if you really want to look at 180s, it's flipped. Television is not what it used to be. Sports, not what they used to be. Music. If you go to Europe, Europe has everything. I mean, sure, it's in a complete state of crisis right now because we're going through a nobody gives a shit.
All right. Thank you very much, Beast.
There you go. Well, that was good. So I see why everybody wanted that.
Incredible. Tom D in the raffle for 2. He says, I got a Jets win, Brees 15+ receiving yards, Rodgers 150+ passing yards, Fields anytime touchdown. Wish me luck. This has been my favorite, I think, parlay that has been suggested so far. Tom, make sure you bet it with our sponsor, FanDuel. I do think this. FanDuel has odds on Brees Hall's receiving yards, and I loved the value last week. I'll check to see where it's at now. But I will once again say it. Brees Hall is going to be doing things we have not seen him do week over week. He will be lined up, going up against safeties and linebackers right out of the slot, and they're going to find him in the passing attack where he would be the first option in a Fields drop back progression. We have not seen that since he's been a Jet. They did it one time in Tennessee in week 2 last year when Rodgers hit him on the outside for a touchdown, and then we never saw it again. I think we're going to see that with Brees. I would play Brees's receiving yards prop every week. That's the one thing I'm confident about in this offense.
I'm with you. I'm hoping that we know Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis are right behind them. We like those guys and all that, but Brees has to finally get a season where he's the bell cow. Let's see what this guy is. The running backs, they take time to kind of get into the game and get the feel of the blocks and all that kind of stuff. And we never give it to them. And not as an excuse, but just like, we have games where Brees Hall rushes 5 times. Like, what is he supposed to do with 5 rushes?
Right.
So, and then we got Dalvin Cook, and or whoever else. So I'm looking forward to Brees being the bell cow. Let him get going, and then spell him, with Braylon Allen and short yardage and things like that. But yeah, I'm excited for Brees Hall. And people say, oh, if we're not going to re-sign him, get something for him now. I'm a big fan of getting this. A full season, run the wheels off him. That's what you do. You really, dude, give him as much playing time as you can, and let's see what the guy actually has. And if it's not what you like, it's not what you want, then But I'm all about Brees Hall this year.
Brees Hall over 19.5 receiving yards against the Steelers. That's my favorite bet of the entire week. Brees over 19.5 receiving yards. So I'm with you. And I think he needs to have a huge game if they're going to win. Remember the last time they beat Rodgers and the Packers, Brees was unbelievable that day. Remember that famous image of all 11 players on the Packers defense trailing Brees as he's taking off down the field in that win at Lambeau.
Yeah, and why can't he do that again? Why can't he? I mean, we're not talking about a guy who's 32 years old, Jake. You know what I mean?
Amen.
He's going into year 4.
Now's the time. Let's go.
Now's the time, baby.
Ryan McCarthy in the raffle for 5. Hit the Jet Champ. You got a membership from Ryan. Thank him. Peter Castro says, knock Rodgers on his ass, blitz, and win. Love that. Big fella says, having a competent partner in Phillips will lead Quinnen to be able to rush the QB more freely. Kinlaw was so bad, it's easy to forget how good he is. Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that was missing for this defense was a guy like Harrison Phillips. I think Quinnen's going to have a really good season in this defense. I just feel really good about him bouncing back. I think the Jets are going to get big-time bounce-back seasons on defense from 3 guys that were former first-team All-Pros. Quinnen, Quincy in a contract year, and I think Sauce is going to get back to being a top 3 corner in the league again.
Yep, I'm right there with you. And like you said, look, this Jets regime identified quickly the guys we have rotating in, they're dog shit. I mean, even for Darian Mathis, I liked him. I really had high hopes for him. I liked him as a prospect. And I was hopeful, but he didn't do anything. The only guy who really did it, Tufeli had that first game. But LT3, every time you put him on the field, give him 5 plays, he's gonna make something happen. So I'm glad that he stuck around. But everybody else was kind of like middling at best. So go out and get some guys that you feel are upgrades. I like that they did that, and they didn't. It wasn't exorbitant. What they had to pay. To get those guys in. So Phillips starting right next to Quinnen. He's a bona fide starter in the NFL. Now, maybe he's not, Vince Wilfork or Chris Jenkins or somebody like that, but he's solid as hell. So putting him next to Quinnen, especially with the 2 ends that we have on the front end, it's all about JJ and what he can, how well and fast he comes back because he's a stud too, man. Losing him last year in game 2 was a big hit. So getting him back alongside, on the outside with Will McDonald is going to be exciting. And that will open up stuff for the interior, man. And I'm all about Quinnen Williams getting like a resurgence here, like that passion back and being fiery and dominant. That's exciting. That alone excites me.
Jet Life in the house. He's been winning some raffle prizes. I need to add to my JJ jersey. Jake, do you think the Jets score a touchdown and field goal every game? I mean, the bare minimum, they can't score 10 points a game, Jet Life. There's a problem. Now, there be a really ugly, classic Jets, lose, 31-3 game in there this year? Sure. But I mean, this offense, what would you say average points per game, GreenBean, the Jets would need to score for them to be a 9 or 10 win team this year and defy the odds?
Well, if we're doing the 4 yards of play thing, we only 13, baby. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're probably going to need 20 points, 17 to get there. I mean, I as an average, not to say no games go above that. But, I don't know, man. This 3-point shit or, 2 field goals, 6 point, that stuff has to go out. We cannot be that team anymore. Even how many times over the past couple of years we hold the other team to 1 touchdown and we lose.
Yep.
Like, hey, enough of this. So I'm just hoping Tanner Engstrand is worth the damn. And, maybe we get some fun offense, man. I mean, watching last year, it was like, it never felt like there was an actual plan. It just felt like they were just going, this one, run this play. There was no cohesive, it didn't feel like it was an actual plan to beat this team. It was just plays. And that's what we got to get away from. And if we can actually get a design, for the opponent that we have this week and kind of set things up and all that, I think we'll do well. But yeah, 17, 20 points, 21. What do you think, Jake?
I think if they could get to 21 a game, they could be a 9-win team. I do. I think if they average 21 a game, I think they could be a 9-win team.
Hey, I don't want to jump all your guys, but Zoink Nation said he'll give me $50K for my beard. Tell him to email me.
You're going to just shave it?
Dude, I'll buy it. You'll have it. I'll FedEx it. You'll have it by tomorrow, 8 a.m.
All right. My God. Money, baby. All right, GreenBean. I know you got to run because you have a real job, so you're squeezing me in this morning.
9:52.
Let me get you out of here on this. You're going to be in the building. You, O'Leary, Ryan, Dylan T is going to be there. A bunch of Asmaniacs are going to be in the house. Are we winning on Sunday? Are you seeing your first Jet victory in person since what year? 2015? 2018? When was the last time you saw a win?
Yeah, it'll be the first win since 2015 and the first offensive touchdown since 2018. So the short answer is abso-fucking-lutely, Jake. We are winning this game, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be on his back at least 6 times. And I mean on his back. Not just like you're chasing him and you grab his ankles. That's fine too. But I mean, boom, on his back. That's what's up. We're going to see a delightful game. Jets walk away with a big victory week 1.
Love it. GreenBean, you're the man. We will get you on soon. I'm so bummed I can't be there Sunday with you guys, but I am going to be living vicariously through each of you, and you guys need to see a win all together. It's about time. Let's go.
It's about time. Jake, I love coming on. Thank you. And thanks, everybody in the chat. I'll see you guys later.
Ladies and gentlemen, GreenBean Jets fan. Go subscribe to his channel. He is the absolute man. He's part of the Talking Jets crew on Tuesdays. Those guys do a tremendous job. Part of our Gangrene Legends cruise, which, by the way, week 1, a couple days away, $500 off the cruise if you sign up before then. On that note, first things first, let me play this. Yeah, buddy. It's game week, ladies and gentlemen. Couple super chats I want to get caught up on, and then we got some prizes to give away, don't we? We got 3 prizes to give away now and a jersey for our new week of raffles at the end of the show. A couple super chats, but first, turn up the Jets. You're in our dealer's choice Jets jersey raffle for 1. All right, here we go. 25 says, I'm so ready for Jets football. Hope they get Arian Smith involved in the offense early. I wouldn't mind opening drive if the game script for Engstrand is we're throwing deep. We're taking a shot early. I know they want to establish the run, but there's no better time to catch a team off guard that doesn't know what your offense is going to be than a play action bomb down the field. No better time. Dylan in the house. Is there anything better than a morning dose of GreenBean? Excited to catch up this Sunday, GB. Amen. Amen. Zoink Nation, we already covered your hilarious Asmaniac super chat. Tom D says, GreenBean, the GOAT. Hit it. Rasta Dread in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Hey now, how is he in for 5 people? Because he gifted 5 memberships. It's that easy to be a part of it all.
We are mama way.
Putty, Ross Kate, Jeffrey R, Iceman, and Frankie L are the listeners who received a gifted channel membership. Okay, I want to do the raffle right now. We got plenty of people on hold. We started the show a little earlier than normal, but we're back to our usual 10 a.m. Eastern time start for the rest of this week. Got some great guests that are going to join us throughout the season. So I'm excited, man. Hopefully the Jets give us a surprise season because goddamn do we certainly deserve it as fans. But right now, it's time to spin the wheel of champions.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Okay, 3 prizes to raffle away right now. These are all the entries combined over the last week of Jake Asman shows. Prize 1 is a field signed jersey. Prize 2 is a jersey signed by each member of the Sack Exchange. And prize 3 is a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. In fact, I have 2 of the 3 prizes right over here. Hold on. I got them in my hand. The Sauce jersey hasn't arrived yet, so if you win that one, hopefully I'll be able to send it to you by the end of the week. But the signed Fields jersey is here. The signed jersey by each Sack Exchange member is here. So if you win, you got to email me your name, your address, so I know where to send your winning prizes. On that note, here's the Wheel of Champions. Good luck to everyone, and sincerely, I cannot say this enough. Thank you for continuing to support these raffles. They've been awesome for the show. We started this back in December. December 1st was our first raffle, and guess what? This is our 38th raffle since December 1st. Here we go. Let's do the Fields jersey first. The winner of a signed Justin Fields jersey is listener J-Boy. Hey, J-Boy, congratulations. Well deserved. J-Boy won I believe he chose a Sauce jersey the other day on the show, and now he gets rewarded with a weekly prize, a Justin Fields autographed jersey. Okay, you can only win once per weekly raffle, so let's spin the wheel 2 more times now. Prize number 2 is this right here, a signed jersey by each member of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. Gastineau, Lions, Salam, and Hall of Famer Joe Klecko. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that jersey is G-Man the Prophet. Yes. Congratulations to G-Man the Prophet. He is your winner of our Sack Exchange jersey. One more winner in our weekly prizes. This is for a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. You know, the best corner in the league. Here we go. The final weekly winner is listener KND. He's going to be pumped about that. KND loves himself some Sauce Gardner. Congratulations to our 3 winners. That is J-Boy, G-Man the Prophet, and KND. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 awesome listeners of the show, deserving of the prizes. Now we start again. I already told you end of the show, we're playing for a Jets jersey of your choosing. But we're starting game week with an absolute bang. Bang! Our top 3 prizes in raffle 39 next week. A signed Broadway Joe Namath jersey. A signed helmet by Jets Hall of Famer, the only head coach that won the franchise a Super Bowl, Weeb Ewbank. It's only the 2nd time I've ever given away a signed Weeb Ewbank item. And ladies and gentlemen, this was not cheap. And our 3rd prize, we got to have someone current, don't we? How about a signed, you guessed it, Sauce Gardner jersey? So those are the 3 prizes for this upcoming week. We'll add more as we go, so stick around for that. But ladies and gentlemen, good luck to all. And now, gift away if you want a chance to win next week's prizes or a jersey at the end of this very show. On that note, let's shout out Rasta Dread. Did I shout him out already? I don't remember. If I did or didn't, this is for you, Rasta. Hit the Jet chant. I think I did shout him out, though. All right. We got people on hold who want to call into the show. I'm looking forward to getting into your phone calls right now. Before we do any of that, let's talk about today's sponsor, Zip Recruiter. Zip Recruiter, guess what? They're going to help Asmaniacs get jobs. If you're an Asmaniac and you're trying to find the right person to hire, ZipRecruiter should be your go-to because trying to find the right person, it's not easy. You get flooded with resumes, and a lot of them don't have the exact skills or the experience that you're looking for. But ZipRecruiter, they'll make it easy to discover great candidates as maniacs. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter smart technology. It works for you the moment you post a job. Their matching system instantly begins to find the right candidate for the job that you have open. When you find people you like, you connect right away using ZipRecruiter's ready to send, invite to apply message. It's a quick way to personally reach out and encourage them to apply sooner. So ditch other hiring sites. Let ZipRecruiter help you find that needle in the haystack. 4 to 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Big Apple UB is up first this segment. What's up, Big Apple?
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Been a while.
Big Apple, you're still in Mongolia, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Ulaanbaatar.
Unbelievable. What time is it in Mongolia right now?
It's just after 10 p.m. Tuesday night.
Wow. So 1 a.m., the Jets will be kicking off on Sunday for you?
Yeah. last year and a couple of previous years, I would watch them live, but I got a video on demand thing now. I don't think I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night anymore. They've been losing too much.
Tough to argue with that, my friend. Tough to argue with that.
Yeah. But speaking of winning on week one, I think the first thing I want to talk about is I think the key. Obviously, it'll be nice if Aaron Glenn lets Sauce follow DK Metcalf because that's really their only receiving threat. But I think the key, and this is one of the few things that the offense got right last year, is TJ Watt always lines up in the same place. He's one of the few elite pass rushers that's always over the right tackle. And obviously that's going to be a huge test for Membu. But I think if we just use this guy Beck and just chip TJ Watt and let Membu get a lot of help with him, just like they did last year. They took him out of the game. I think that's really going to be a huge help for the game. That's the first thing.
I think a big thing to help with the fear of Watt wrecking the game. Can't rush the quarterback if you're running the football really effectively. That's why the Jets need to be in third and manageable throughout this game. You don't want Fields dropping back where it's third and long, and then TJ Watt comes off the edge, makes a play, strip sack, turnover, batted ball, whatever it is. He's done it so many times. We know what we're looking at there. Like, that's going to be a big part of this game. Can they run the football effectively so you're not putting Membu in a spot where, as a rookie, he's going to have growing pains. That's just what happens, where you're not worried about, that being a factor where Watt is the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, none of us want to see what happens if they have to throw third and long a lot, hopefully. And then the other thing, I get to New York once in a while. The last time I was there for a game was, I think I told you the last time was the December 22nd, 2022, the Thursday night game. He stinks. He stinks. Yeah. The frozen rain against Trevor Lawrence and they weren't particularly good, but the Jets were worse than the weather. But
that was the worst game ever. Oh, brutal.
Yeah, it was. And obviously I didn't come in only for that. I came to visit family, but I traveled over 6,000 miles to watch that game. Anyway, this year I'm going to try to make I think I'm going to be around for Christmas. So I think I'm going to get to the Pats game at MetLife on the 28th. And that'll be hopefully the first time I can bring my son. My son's 15 years old. He tried to be a Lions fan and I converted him and I feel guilty about that. But now he's a Jets fan. Anyway,
it builds character, tell him. It teaches you life.
Right. He's gonna be ready for any kind of disappointment life throws at him. And my last thing is just the first Jets touchdown prediction. I think is going to be a short goal line run from Braylon Allen. And thanks for taking my call. Go Jets! And hopefully the sitcom ends this year and we can stop being the butt of all the jokes in the league.
I love it. Now, Big Apple UB, there's some questions in the chat. How did you end up in Mongolia? Wife, job? What's the backstory? How you ended up in Mongolia of all places?
Yeah, wife and job. I'm a teacher of English to students of other languages, so I teach English. And I started in Korea, and I met a lovely girl there, and she happened to be Mongolia, and we came here, and now we have our own English school here in Mongolia. So that's what we're doing.
Amazing. Well, continued success, Big Apple UB, and I mean that is so cool that we have listeners all over. But Mongolia of all places, unreal. You got to be the only Jet fan in Mongolia, right? Have you met anyone else?
I haven't found a lot of it. There's a couple of friends. I just the other night we went to our fantasy. We do fantasy football league. There's a handful of American football fans, but they're all younger guys, so they're all front runners. They're Ravens fans, they're Chiefs fans, they're Eagles fans. There's none of them that know the pain of being a Jets fan. They're too young for that.
That's right. Big Apple, you're the man. Good luck. All right.
All right. Go Jets. Take care. Thanks, Jake. Bye-bye.
Big Apple UB, a great call there. It's so awesome. Chicken Jenkins says, Jake, with the season starting, do you think we'll get more Cheats fan call-ins? I miss him. Wonder where he's been. I do think he'll be back at some point, but nobody knows where Cheats fan has been. He seemingly has fallen off the face of the earth. Maybe he's in Mongolia hiding right now. I don't know. On that note, hit the like button if you haven't already. We have 330 people in here live. We'll be back again this afternoon, 2-a-days. Typically, if you're new to the show, we're live at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Most weeks I will be doing a Saturday show, and after every Jets game, I do a live post-game show. So from this point on, basically 7 days a week, content always coming on the channel. More calls right now. Prestige Shogun is next. What's up, Prestige?
What's going on, Jake? So it's finally here. Football, Thursday, Sunday, whatever you want to call it. I'm ready for it. You're ready for it. We're ready to see it. So the internet, I want to talk about the Jets and the Steelers real quickly. I hear all this garbage running through people's mouths, or like just kind of writing us off before the game even kicks off. And I get it. We're the Jets. 15-year playoff drought running on it at some point. People are going to do that. But I'm hearing these narratives, and we know we're familiar with a lot of them. I'm hearing stuff like the Steelers front seven, the Jets have no offensive line. They can't block. They can't handle TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. Okay, that's fine. What about the Steelers offensive line against our front seven, our pass rush? Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old. I love the guy still. Legend. Will McDonald, nobody in this league has been able to block that ridiculous spin move that he's got. So Roger Jones obviously couldn't do it last year. A lot of shuffles going around on the Steelers offensive line. Changes are going to happen. So my question is, we have 5 grown men at offensive line on our team. The Steelers have an offensive line that they don't have quite figured out yet. Nobody on that position outside of maybe the center do they have it figured out. So here's my theory. We talk about the Steelers pass rush against the Jets offensive line. How about the Jets pass rush against the Steelers offensive line? Will McDonald, Quinn Williams, they get through to Aaron Rodgers and he doesn't have the ball out. Then what? He's obviously not going to escape like he used to back in his prime. So here's my line with this game. I think this game is going to be won in the trenches. I have the Jets winning, actually. I have it being a low-scoring game. I have the Jets winning 17-16. And I think it's just going to be like one of those ugly games that you want to see or don't want to see. But it's one that we'll pull out. I think the crowd is going to really get into it. They're going to really try to get after Rodgers just from the ear perspective, just get into his ear and whatnot. And I think that the Jets, if they can match up with the Steelers offensive line and defensive line, I think that's their best shot to win. Get after the quarterback, make Rodgers have to throw off his back foot, whatnot. So I think they need this win, especially to just shut up the media just for 1 week. They need it. We heard how it went with Rodgers and Glenn in the meeting. I think Aaron Glenn needs this just as much as Aaron Rodgers needs it. That's my take on it.
Yeah, look, I think it's a huge game for really both, but like Rodgers could recover if he loses week 1 because he has Mike Tomlin and the Steelers' track record of success, and he could point to the fact that in his week 1s in recent memory, he hasn't played all that well. Glenn losing to Rodgers after he got rid of Rodgers, it'd be a bad look. Now, if they beat the Bills the following week, all would be forgiven and we'd be pumped about that. But that's a harder game to win than this game is on Sunday. Like, this is a more winnable game. So hopefully we see the Jets come out with that heightened sense of urgency they need to play with, get the crowd involved early. And I think they can win the game. I'm very nervous about it, but it's not going to be crazy to me. Like, I can't, like, oh my God, I can't believe they won. Like, it's a winnable game for them to do it. And here's something I want to see, not even just in this game, but a lot this year. Under Saleh, the Jets were horrific in the opening quarters of games. They were always in a hole. Horrific starting games. Come out and get a lead early. You want to have your style of play dictate how the game's going to go? You got to get a lead to do that. So come out and punch the Steelers in the mouth early.
Yeah, like, set the tone. Like, how many times, didn't matter who the coordinator was, didn't matter who was calling the plays, how many times under Saleh's regime would we come out in the first quarter? We could be playing the best team in the league. We could be playing the worst team in the league. Come out flat every opening drive, every quarter, 0 points, 9 yards total. You're flying under the radar now because obviously the Super Bowl window, it's shut for now, obviously. And we're not competing at that level like we thought we would at least a year or two ago. You're flying under the radar, and some of your superstars, your cornerstone franchise pieces, they're becoming kind of underrated in a sense. Sauce is becoming very underrated. Garrett Wilson especially is becoming very underrated. And I want to acknowledge this too. Look, I get it. Garrett Wilson hasn't had a superhuman season like Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. But I look at, we watch him every week. The guy does what he does with very limited quarterback play. And the eye test, he passes it all. He is, in my opinion, one of the best route runners in the league. He's got one of the best hands in the league. And it kind of pisses me off just a little bit when I see people, just anybody, put these year one wide receivers over Garrett Wilson as if Garrett Wilson hasn't proven anything in this league. One, he's a former offensive rookie of the year. Two, he's just a certified dog. So when I look at people, and it's some people, it's not everybody, it could be different sides of the media where we look at, I see some internet casuals, just guys who are listing AFC wide receivers, any wide receiver. Ladd McConkey. All right, sure. Ladd McConkey was good. You notice how whenever somebody says like Ladd McConkey, Malik Neighbors, who I can see the argument for, like, is better than Garrett Wilson, they only go off the stats. They only go off receiving yards. They don't actually like watch or dissect things. I asked them this question. One, who's the quarterback? Who's getting better quarterback play? Two, who has proven more in this league? Garrett Wilson's been doing this for 3 years in the National Football League. These guys have been 1 year. They could fall off next year for all we know. And what do they do better than Garrett Wilson? Because Garrett Wilson does a lot of things that are better than a lot of people. Like, how many times when Garrett Wilson's number is called to make a big catch, he shows up every time. Malik Neighbors hasn't shown that yet. Brian Thomas Jr., great as he is, hasn't shown that yet. Ladd McConkey hasn't shown that yet. This is all like, it's a small sample size. And I kind of like the fact, but also don't like the fact that our boy Garrett Wilson's getting basically, like, I don't want to say disrespected in a way, but like I said, he's becoming kind of underrated. And I don't know if he's going to break out with Fields. Like, I can't predict that. But I hope that at some point, if Glenn finally turns this around, that numbers aside, people truly understand how great of a player Garrett Wilson is, and Sauce Gardner too, because it's about time these kids get some respect on their names. These are heading into year 4 for the most part. I don't know if Breece Hall is going to be here after this year or even by the trade deadline. So look, no matter what happens this year, draft a quarterback. Justin Fields is good. Doesn't matter. Show some fight every week this year, and I'll be somewhat content with that. And I'm ready for these guys to really make a true mark on their league. They've stepped into the waters in the league, but now I'm ready for them to just take off. So that's about all I got.
I like the passion, Prestige. People like your outfit as well. All black, denim jacket, 2 chains, and the greased hair. You look like you're in the movie The Outsiders.
I know. I love that movie too. I watched it in 8th grade, and
stay golden, Pony Boy.
This chat, it's got the best chat. It's got the best fan base, and I love it. Let's get some, I don't want to say positive vibes. We got a little too much of that with Saleh, but show some fire. It's a different era with Aaron Glenn, and I'm ready for it. Live or die, I'm ready, and I can't wait. So Let's go out and come out, put up a fight. Screw that. Let's smash Aaron Rodgers. How about that? Let's come out there, smash the man, smash the Pittsburgh Steelers, set the tone, put out a blueprint for yourself, and just go out and attack. I don't want to say brutality. It's a little too much, but I'm ready to I want old school Jets football back. And I don't know what that's like because the last time the Jets made the playoffs, it was the year before I started preschool. And now, obviously, like I said last week, I'm in college now. I don't know if Connor Long was born yet. I don't even know if the kid knew how to walk, but I'm ready to see some winning football. Just competitive Jets football, just the way I like it. So that's about all I got. Chat, stay safe. Jake, peace out.
Let's go. Here's what we want to see the Jets defense do to Aaron Rodgers Sunday.
Hope you enjoy the landing.
That's what we need. Prestige, love the passion. Tom D. Jake, what radio channel can we listen to you on ESPN on Sundays? Tom, 880 ESPN New York. I don't know if you're in the New York area, but it'd be 880 AM or the ESPN New York app. There's a separate app for ESPN New York. You can hear it on the actual ESPN app if you go into the radio tab. But the ESPN New York app is easy. It's a great app. I recommend that if you're out of market. Me and Mike Tannenbaum, our first show together is Sunday, and we'll be on the air together every single Sunday. Besides the Tampa week, because I'm going to Tampa, and the Carolina week, because we're doing our Carolina group buy. By the way, if you purchased a ticket for the Panthers game this week, we'll be sending them out. So thanks for your patience on that. If you purchased the ticket, we got you locked in. So spread the word. You'll get your tickets this week at the email that you bought them with. Black Gypsy has gifted a channel membership. Black Gypsy, you're in our raffle coming up for one. Now, if you missed it, we did have raffle 38 after GreenBean's appearance on the show. We gave away 3 prizes to J-Boy, G-Man the Prophet, and KND. And our top prize in next week's Asmaniac raffle features a signed Broadway Joe Namath jersey, a signed Weave Eubank helmet, and a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. Those are the top 3 prizes thus far in raffle 39 next week. Hopefully the Jets are 30 or 1-0 by the time we get to raffle 39. Big fella, super chat, cuts the line. I had Boomer and Gio on this morning on Listenable. I'll tell you what, DiPietro and Rothenberg, same exact time. Listen to them. Let's see. Jake West says, I cannot wait for week 1. It's going to be awesome. Win or lose, football is back. Now, win or lose, we say that now. They lose, I'm not in a good mood. They need to win. I won't be happy if, they lose a tough one. No, win the game. Jake West, we better not go 3-and-out. If they start the season off with the ball and go 3-and-out, that's going to be just a huge, huge letdown because the energy at the beginning of the game, the crowd's going to be super into it. It's going to be awesome. I think the weather's going to be great Sunday too as of now. So they can't start flat. That'd be a disgrace. Austrian Jet fan in the house. Number 1 Austrian Jet fan. He's gifted a channel membership. Good luck to the Austrian Jet fan. He's in our raffle for 1 with that. Hungry Hippo says that Bobby has never passed the smell test. Referring to Bobby Midnight, who celebrated his birthday over the weekend. Hope everyone had a great Labor Day. Bobby went swimming in a lake.
Yeah, no, I'm staying right here.
Oh, look at my eye! Oh, look at my eye!
You're a dick. What the fuck? What the Look at that, she's laughing.
Wild. Looked like it was a great body of water there for Bob. All right, more calls. This guy doesn't call on a ton. We'll go in order of who's on the line. V8 the Great is next. What's up, V8? Welcome back.
What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
I'm good, V8. How are you?
I'm good. Can't complain. I'm gonna start calling in every week now that football season's back. Everything's situated and cool, calm and collected. I really hope you're doing good. But Jake, one thing I'm looking forward to is I want to see how disciplined AG has gotten this team. Was last year we were just so undisciplined, so many penalties. And another thing that I want to see is, say we go into halftime, we're up 10-7. I want to see the adjustments. That was our main issue with Salah. We never made the proper adjustments. We always, like the guy that was on the line prior to you, just we came out flat, and it's just we can't do that. I get it. This Justin Fields thing is a project, but we have built this offensive line to be at least a top 12 offensive line. Would you disagree on that one?
It should be on paper. I mean, let's see if they actually could live up to it. But if they're not at least a top 10 O line, they're not going to be a very good team because their offense is going to struggle.
Yeah, because we're lacking that number 2 and number 3 wide receiver. But we'll see what happens. But I mean, what do you think about the whole discipline thing and the whole coming out flat take?
I think it will show us a lot because I brought up the first quarter issues, the first half issues earlier in the show. That was such a big problem. So come out and dictate the terms of the game because that's the style they want to play. That's why they did tackling in training camp. That's why they played guys in the preseason. They want to come out and be ready to go. And you can catch teams at the beginning of the year off guard that aren't ready to play. And I think that's hopefully an advantage the Jets could find early in the season.
Let's pray. And Jake, just another thing, I'm so proud of you, man. I have been watching you and Rich Eisen, you and our former GM. You're getting real close to getting on First Take, man, or Get Up. So, when that happens, man, don't forget about us, man. We still
Never,
need the
V8
Asman show.
You're the man. I appreciate it. You got to call more, all right?
I will, for most definitely. You have a great day, Jake.
You too, V8. Great call. All right, hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. Man, God, we got to win Sunday. The Jets got to win Sunday. They do. There's no other way around it. They got to win Sunday. We are 50 subscribers away from 42,000 on this channel. If you're watching the show right now, if you're one of the 400 people in here, hit the subscribe button as we're trying to get to that number. It's been a slog. 188 subs over the last 28 days. We have plateaued. But if the Jets win, guess what? We're going to skyrocket. We're going to bring in so many new viewers. So we need a winning season. We need a relevant season. That's the big thing. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. You guys know that if you've been watching the show. You guys know when this guy calls in, it's your job to decide the location of where he's calling from.
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Mr. Clifton?
So, prestigious call, like The Outsiders. I think that is the hottest a woman has ever looked in a movie. 19-year-old Diane Lane. I'll stand by that one.
Let's hit the Google real quick.
It's like very tight 50 sweaters. It's very, very nice. You talk about like Sophia Loren, Boy and a Dolphin. You talk about Charlize Theron in 2 Days in the Valley. She's in a cat suit. Even like Halle Berry in Jungle Fever. She was a drug addict, but she was like the hottest drug addict you ever saw. But that's my 2 cents on The Outsiders. And
I agree with this take. I think this is a strong take by you, Mr. Clifton.
Yes, and Matt Dillon, he was kind of the comic relief to an extent in that movie, and he foreshadowed some of his comic chops that he showed in There's Something About Mary as the legendary Pat Healy, the guy who was going to work for Rice-A-Roni. They were changing their image.
All-time movie.
Yes. So about the Jets, I think and I hope that the coaching and the strategy and the motivation and the organization and the practice schedules and all that is ahead of the coach GM relationship. And the reason I say this is twofold, right? You look at the draft And I think that the early returns on some of the mid to late round guys aren't so great, right? You take a look at the Miami guys. You take a look at you know um, it's kind of a lot of uncertainty around Arian Smith. And then the other thing is the roster management down the stretch here with cut downs. Like, does anyone in our fan base think that JBC isn't a better player than Zaire Barnes or Xavier Gibson? I don't think so, right? Isn't that a guy you kind of keep on your roster past cut down day and see if you can find a trade for him the day after? Like, the Browns scooped him up. Would the Dolphins have had interest, even though they're in the division? Like, I don't think that they're quite there yet as far as running the football team holistically. Although I think that the day-to-day and the in-game coaching and stuff is going to be better, because I just think that Glenn might be a better football man than Saleh.
I think the coaching is automatically going to be better since we last saw it, because we're talking about what Ulbrich was. I think that one of the great variables for this team is we know the coaching is going to be better, but is the coaching just better than where it was last year, where you're still not a well-coached team? Or, as you're alluding to, is the coaching going to be such a big difference maker that they go from a poorly coached team to not an average coach team, but like one of the better coaching jobs in the league? And if the answer to that is yes, it changes everything, because that's how Mike Tomlin every year with inferior quarterback talent is still able to get 9-10 wins at the bare minimum out of his team. Like that. And look, Glenn, I don't know if he's going to be Mike Tomlin, but can he beat him in a one-game scenario on Sunday? That's what I'm rooting for.
Yep. Let's see if they can maximize what they have. We have some cap space coming up in our future. We have some draft picks next year. So, I think that they're going to grow into the roles, but I'm not quite sure from an overarching organizational standpoint that they're yet in lockstep. I think I might put a poll out there for hottest actress in a movie on the Patreon. See if I can get draw up some interest in that. I'll talk to you soon, Jake.
Kyle, appreciate you. I'd go Margot Robbie in Wolf of Wall Street, but that's just me. But if we're talking 80s movies, I don't mind the Diane Lane take. Let's see here. Yep. Coops, I see no shot. Margot Robbie, I agree. John Williams writes in, Beast calls his underwear the Browns. Wow. More of your calls right now. We heard from this guy earlier. He was babbling incoherent thoughts, which is kind of ironic.
I'm not going to waste my time on other shit that doesn't make any sense.
Beast?
How about we do a little at the dog poo right here? Yeah. You know what that movie was? That's Drop Dead Fred. Rick Mayo. Does anybody remember Rick Mayo and Probe Cates in that movie? 1991? You don't remember Drop Dead Fred, do you?
I've never seen it.
Funniest movie you're ever going to see. Rick Mayo's the funniest British guy you're ever going to see. He'll make you laugh, especially the best line. I'm going, the mega bitch squashed my head! The bitch! Look at her, the Supreme! Watch this. Wow. Cobwebs. Watch the movie. You'll love it. You will laugh your ass off so hard that you'll be going, oh, I got pain in the pancreas. But about that, I started my first podcast this morning. We did very well. 20 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. Very good.
Where's this podcast airing?
I did mine on Instagram. Did very well. Very well.
So it's one giant Instagram video? Why are you showing me your nipples?
No, I hurt my side this morning while I was stretching in the shower. Didn't like that, but I learned a lesson. But 5 more days, Rodgers is going to be flat on his ass, and he's going to be taken out back. He's not going to survive. Nah, and you made a point loud and clear. We better jump the gun real fast. If we kick, okay, we ram it down their throat. We get the ball back. We ram it down their throat. but we have to go out fast swinging. That means take off with the ball, run, run, run. If you have to pass, shovel pass it, like right there.
Hey, Beast, Dylan says if you get hurt while showering, you can't be in shape.
I'll be okay. Dylan, my body is 10 times tougher than half the American Gladiators combined. If you've never seen American Gladiators from the 90s, then you ain't got quality. I've watched it all. I even have the video game for it. Let me just tell you, I've watched all the guys play, this and this and this, and climb walls and even do crazier stuff. But to be extreme, you got to be twice as extreme. And come Sunday, Rodgers is going to be flat on his ass.
Hey, what was your podcast about?
Hey, extreme quality, an extreme measure.
Okay.
We're going to see. You're going to see soon enough. Spare the damn pillow. You want me to do something with sore ribs? Fine. You want to see what Rodgers will look like again? All right, let's do a dime formation known as a CB blitz. Now, Jake, you've never heard of CB blitz, have you?
Hey, Beast, have you thought about putting a light on, perhaps?
Yeah. Is Rick Morris?
Just do it. Stop giving us in the words of someone that none of us have heard of.
Hey. Legends live. Diamonds are forever. Just remember that.
Spencer Green wants you to spear that pillow. He paid $10 for it. He says the Jets players are watching at the facility.
Rodgers right here looks like a prime example. He looked like he basically is gonna crap himself because he either didn't know how to take a shit or he must have had bad balls. But here's the example for him. Bam! Just like that. A typical fashion. Or if he wants to come at you, back body drop. Or if he's coming at you, just like that. The Goldberg special. You know what the Goldberg special is?
These would be roughing the passer calls.
Nah, back in the 90s, we call that taking your head right off.
Yeah, but in 2025, that Jet player would be ejected from the game.
It's called America needs to shape their balls up and get some and grow a set. Time to man up. No more wishy-washy. No more Mystic Keep. I gotta go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom. Just remember, and
Thank you, Beast. All right. Spencer, you got your money's worth. Gotham FC Jets. I love Drop Dead Fred. LOL. Gotham, I'm glad you do. Callie Jet says, hey, Jake, I just purchased my G5 shirt, hoping it arrives on time to rep in Vegas for week 1. Callie, thanks for supporting the merch. The G5 shirt in white was the most popular item in the store in the month of August. So big thanks to anyone who purchased merch from our store. If you're a Patreon user, 20% off year round. JakeAsman.com/shop. Hungry Hippo says, Clemens learned how to play from Beast. Now it all makes sense. It really does. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Up next on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline today is Rob the Jet fan. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Jake. Good morning. How
Good
are
morning,
you, man?
Rob.
Up a little earlier today, I see, huh?
Yeah, GreenBean said he could only do 9 to 10 today. So I said, you know what? We'll start the show at 9 for GB.
Yeah, GreenBean's good, dude. First of all, I just wanted to ask you real quick before I forget. Did you ever finish that series, Suits?
I did. Yeah, I did.
What'd you think?
I mean, it was obviously a very good show. I hated the way, I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's been out for years.
Ended,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert for those who are watching Suits or haven't seen it yet, because I'm about to say things that would be spoilers. So here's your warning. What they did with the Ross and Rachel arc, how quickly it was just rushed at the end because they had to tie it up because she was going off to marry, the prince was terrible. I just thought it was rushed. It wasn't good. Yeah. And I don't know, I didn't love the way the last season ended either, but like the first 6 seasons of that show, first 7 seasons of that show, awesome television.
I'm with you. I think the last season or so was not so good. You're right. it was rushed, and the plots and the storylines could have been a lot better. Hey, I'll give you one. You might have watched it already on Netflix. Animal Kingdom.
Never seen it.
You'll love it. Just look into it. Do me a favor, look into it and see a preview.
I'm into the Cowboys doc right now. I just started that over the weekend.
Oh, did you? Tulsa King is coming back September 21st with Stallone. Is really good. Oh my God.
My dad likes that show. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, Jake. But I called. I don't want to start off by being negative and stuff. Peter Castro is already pissed off at me that I'm too. He was like, Rob, stop being so negative. So I don't want to be that negative person. I just have my doubts with the offense. I think you and I are on the same page with that, Jake. I just scratch my head sometimes when I see guys like Clemens and Gibson and Lazard still on the team, when those guys should have been obviously cut off the team, and they're still there. That's when I don't totally buy into the culture change. I buy into it when I see Aaron Glenn grab someone in the sideline and start yelling at them for doing a dumb penalty. I love that. Love that. It just reminded me of Bill Parcells. But then when they keep these jamokis on the team who should have been like cut off the team is where I'm saying, like, what's going on here? Why are these guys still on the team? Why aren't they giving guys like Skinner a chance or Pritchett? Is the time that I get upset, Jake. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I don't quite understand Clemens still being here, but I think it's more about the lack of depth behind him, which, to further that point, it's why I don't understand why Jadeveon Clowney or Zadarius Smith were never signed. I felt like that's an easy addition you can make. They already made the Phillips addition. Look, the roster is certainly not perfect. I would have went with Pritchett over Gibson, but clearly they're more comfortable with Gibson catching all these punts. We'll see. I mean, the hope with Clemens is that with Jermaine being back, instead of having to play 60-something snaps a game, Michael Clemens is playing under 30 snaps per game, and there's less opportunities for him to commit a stupid penalty or do something dumb. So, I mean, that's the hope. That's it.
I was about to say, are we going to lose our shit once he causes one of those stupid penalties, Jake? Or somebody intentionally pisses him off because they know he's going to retaliate and do something dumb, and it's going to cost us 15 yards in the game? I mean, how is Aaron Glenn going to deal with that?
Right, but that's the thing.
Shit, Aaron Glenn.
Well, like, if he does do that, like, let's see how Glenn handles it. He's going to handle it, I can tell you what, a lot differently than how Robert Saleh or Jeff Ulbrich would handle it.
I hope so. But, I mean, I don't know, Jake. I'm just scared about the offense, rolling the offense, him obviously throwing downfield. I don't see Garrett Wilson having the year that he even had last year with him throwing the passes to him if this guy doesn't throw downfield. He's going to have to throw downfield to Garrett Wilson, and then this is where Garrett Wilson's going to be probably double-teamed. More reason to have that second wide receiver, Jake. I mean, I still think that they should pick someone up before the season starts so they're not behind the 8-ball immediately, that we're not going on the air and saying, hey, Jake, you know what? If we had that second wide receiver, we might have won that game. I don't think we can afford to lose any of these games. Every game is critical. Henceforth, them getting Falk as a kicker and McNamara as the punter, I thought that was good. Let's not get to the point that we have to go out and get a number 2 wide receiver and we're already starting behind the 8-ball 0-2, 0-3. This is what I'm afraid of, Jake.
I get it. Look, I think the big thing for the Jets is to not bury themselves early. The teams are vulnerable at the beginning of the year. Can you find a way to start 2-2? They were 4-3 with Zach Wilson after losing Aaron Rodgers a few years ago. Like, things happen early and you could be in the mix. And if you're a well-coached team, you'll get better as the year goes on, but you got to survive the early portion of the schedule. That's the big unknown. I mean, the roster's certainly not perfect. There are legit questions with the number 2 receiver. The thing with Garrett, though, Garrett will produce. They'll get him the ball. They'll give him opportunities.
I hope so, Jake.
Different looks. Yeah, it will be in motion a lot more. I'm not worried about Garrett. Garrett will produce. He's produced with way worse quarterbacks, way worse situations.
Yeah, I hope
after
so.
Garrett, who's emerging.
I don't want to be that negative guy. I really don't. We're getting so close to the season right now, so I'm not going to be that guy, at least not yet. I'm going to give you my takes if I'm mad about what transpired, but to be honest with you, Jake, I'm happy to say that I am going to Neil's house to watch a game. Snowball should be coming too. I don't know if Peter Castro's coming. He was supposed to come. So we're all going to watch it together, all the OGs together. We're going to watch the game, and we're going to try to have a positive spin on it. And my score, Jake, is 17-16. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets!
Let's go, Rob. Love it. How about that? Positivity. Hit the Jet chant. Jets win 17-16. Nick Folk game-winning kick. Like it's 2010 playoffs all over again. How about that? That was the score when the Jets beat Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts in Manning's last ever game as a Colt in January of 2011. I love it, man. Rob, I hope that happens, man. I'll take a 3-0 win, but 17-16. Man, we need a win. We need a win in the worst way. Big fella says Bucky Irving out for the season. Tampa's dealing with some significant injuries. Because we already know they're not going to have their stud tackle for that Jet game. Ladies and gentlemen, more calls right now, shall we? Jason's in Jerusalem. He's next, and then we got Ricky on the line. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jake. How you doing this morning?
What's going on, Jason?
Not much. I was just listening to the Jeff Pearlman podcast. Do you listen to this? Press Box Chronicles?
I've not heard it.
So Pearlman used to write for SI. He would cover the Cowboys. He covered a lot of big stories for SI. It's the first time I ever had to shut off a podcast in the middle. It was as thorough as a Manish tweet. His most recent podcast that he just came was on basically called The Plight of Being a Jets Fan. Listen, I get it. We're all scarred and things like that. But he messes up such big things. He says the Jets drafted Michael Vick when he wanted to say Roger Vick. He says that the Jets drafted Browning Nagel to pick ahead of Brett Favre as opposed to behind Brett Favre. Like, if you're going to talk about the pain of being a Jets fan, at least get the facts correct.
Is he a Jet fan?
He says he's a Jet fan since age 7. He grew up in Long Island.
All right. I mean, look, I don't know Jeff Pearlman. I know he's a successful author. Like the show that HBO did based on his book, on the Showtime Lakers, was excellent. HBO shouldn't have canceled it. But that's all I got for you, Jeff Pearlman.
I love his other stuff, but it calls it into question. So I was just kind of wondering. I mean,
also big fella disregard Bucky Irving out for the season. Some jerk off gave me awful info unfollowed. Sorry, big fella, how dare you?
Must have been Manish again.
I mean, people, check your sources. Make sure it's legit. So Bucky Irving not out for the year.
Any idea when we get the Gotham green jerseys on parts unknown?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know do people want those jerseys? I don't.
Better than some of the other ones. Interesting to get it. I mean, how much you spend on parts unknown? Like $20?
No, they're like, after shipping and everything, they're like 30-ish.
All right. And last question: have you seen Bronx Zoo yet?
I have
About
not.
the 1990 Yankees. That should be on your list because that's, especially as a Yankee fan.
I'm out of time. I really at this point now with the season starting, like when am I gonna have time to watch this stuff?
I mean, they had a known pedophile in the outfield. His girlfriend from high school was coming to the games and going to the clubhouse, and everybody knew about it. And he's currently sitting in jail in Texas.
Yes, I mean I know the story. I haven't seen it.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. And to think of George hiring the known gambler to bring up dirt on Winfield wasn't the worst thing that year.
Yeah, that show's on. It was on Peacock, right?
Yeah. I mean, I get it all from the same place over here. So
that's right. The old jailbreak, ladies and gentlemen. Jason in Jerusalem. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky NY.
Ricky, New York is my name. Florida State is my game. My internet sucks, calling Jake when it's time to smoke and debate. The New York Jets are gonna win. My team since I was a kid. My New York Jets are gonna win. I'm Ricky, New York. Don't forget that. Florida State, bitches. New York Jets. We got this shit. It's time to win, baby. Win. Can't wait.
What's happening, Jake? How you doing today?
Hello, Ricky.
You know what? I am a New York Jets fan, and nothing can keep us down. I was listening to you and GreenBean this morning, and I walked down to the little corner store, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this kind of crack in the sidewalk, if you could call it that, and stepped in it and busted my ass. Had to kind of tuck and roll. And I don't know if you can see it. There it is next to my boot. It's not a crack. It was like 6 inches wide where the sidewalk was broken. But injured and all, still calling. I'm fired up. I can't wait for this game. Sunday cannot get here quick enough. And you know what? Nobody really plays their best ball, the first games of the year. And I think we can catch some people sleeping. But, the Steelers aren't like the Steelers of old. They don't scare me. They have some good players, but Broderick Jones has looked terrible. And I'll tell you what, my prediction is, just like GreenBean said, we're going to put Aaron Rodgers on his back at least 5 times. I'll say 5 times. We're going to hit Jermaine is going to hit Aaron Rodgers so hard, he's going to look like he borrowed a pair of pants from Mekhi Becton. We are going to let Rodgers have it. And
I hope. I mean, they have a way more proven of a track record than the Jets do. So this is all just based on blind faith.
Yeah, but you can't. I'm not going to predict the future by looking at the past. This is a brand new Jets team with a brand new coach, and I think we finally got the right guy leading us to get the most out of this talented roster. And I don't think it'll be a blowout by any means, but I'm going to say 24-17 Jets, and we're back, baby. Winning Jets football is back.
24-17 Jets. I like it. Yep. Sign me up for that, Ricky. I'd sign for that right now.
I'm Ricky, New York, and I love to smoke. Florida State. I really love Florida State. Easy tongues, you know it's from Florida State. At any rate, I call into smoking debate. Florida State. I really love Florida State. At any rate, thanks for taking my call, Jake.
Curly says, what's winning Jets football? Well, we haven't seen it in a very long time, Curly, but perhaps we see it on Sunday. Because think about it, the Jets have won some games, but very rarely during this playoff drought have they mattered. Now, they were 2-1 last year, and then it all fell apart, but they were embarrassed in that week 1 game at the Niners last year. Let's go. You're at home. Let's get it done. Ghost says, Chris Sims said Fields is the ugliest throwing motion in the NFL. That's too harsh. I mean, okay. They're not asking Fields to be this prolific pocket quarterback. They're asking him to run their offense and be dynamic as a runner, and they got to help him by putting him in the right spots to do that. That's really it. Hey, last chance to get in on the raffle. I'm going to give away a jersey. You could pick which one you want. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, Quinnen Williams, or Quincy Williams. If you don't win, raffle 39 just announced earlier, our top prizes. Joe Namath signed jersey, Weeb Eubank signed helmet, and Sauce Gardner signed jersey. Hungry Hippo says, Beast, can we enter the global studios at 3 a.m.? That in response to Beast saying that the global studios are open for 24 hours. But Beast, we've seen you fall asleep in there. So who's guarding the studios while that happens? Tom A says, my parlay includes Rodgers pooping himself from a hit during the second quarter. Okay. That'd be a tough one to handicap, but I hope it happens, Tom. Dan says, Jake, I'm excited for the Jets, but I fear there's an actual chance Yanks could miss the playoffs with the coming games. Knicks soon. 2 thoughts. I can't even think about the Knicks right now, Dan. They're going to be very good in the regular season. It's all about what they do in the playoffs. As far as the Yankees, look, this is a litmus test these next 12 games starting tonight. You got your ace on the mound against the Astros. You don't face their best pitcher, Hunter Brown, this series. Win 2 out of 3. Show us something. See, the Yankees have struggled against good teams this year, but to quote their manager, it is actually all in front of them. They have 12 games coming up where they play each of the first-place teams in the American League and the Red Sox. You know, can they go 7-5 during that stretch? We'd sign for that. 8-4 would be amazing. Win 2 out of 3 in each game, each series, I mean. But I don't think they're going to miss the playoffs. I think if you look at the standings, they're in a good spot for one of the wild cards, and then they have a bunch of easy games after this 12-game stretch to end the year. So if they struggle during this 12-game stretch, they'll then probably do what they've done all year, beat the tomato cans and not really prove anything, and then go into the playoffs with us not feeling like, okay, like, great, you got in, but are you going to do anything? I mean, the Yankee fans were looking for a reason to buy into this team because the American League's not that good, and the Yankees have just as much talent as any team in the league. It's just, can they put it together? I saw Stanton's going to play left field tonight in front of the Crawford boxes. So first time he's in left since 2023. Judge should be able to play the field soon, Boone said. Let's hope. Big fella, thoughts on Belichick getting smoked last night? We opened the show talking about this big fella. So if you want me and GreenBean's initial reaction, rewind to the beginning. But how sweet was this, folks? 48-14. Belichick on national TV being embarrassed. Boone was at the UNC game last night. His son is like an assistant coach on the Carolina staff, a student assistant. Chris B says, please gift memberships. Chris B, how are you not a channel member? Do you have the setting turned on? If anyone gifts Chris B his membership, the most loyal and supportive person in the chat, we'll send you a G5 shirt from my store. All right, last chance to get in on the raffle, though, because coming up, we're going to spin the Wheel of Champions. One last check-in with a man who revealed his global studio headquarters are open 24 hours a day.
That bet don't break. That bet is solid steel. My hours are from a certain 6 a.m. to about a good 10 p.m. Once the doors are locked, there's no coming back in, boys. Sorry to tell you, we got a very high, strong quality and a strong business here. So got to keep it under control here. Now, to the main event. It's time to spin.
No, it's not.
Oh. How much time?
I don't have it ready yet. You don't just get to decide when we spin the wheel, Bees. You don't know how it works.
Well, I do sound like
you don't even know how to plug in your microphone. You want to decide when the wheel's going to spin?
Whoa! I feel like Michael Buffer here, either at UFC or I'm at the old World Championship Wrestling in a good old fashioned Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hey, Ralphie wants to know if you're a meatball.
No comment. Bad question. I am not a meatball. In the words of Donald Trump, what a stupid question that is. That is a pretty stupid question. Yeah, you sure send a lot of stupid questions. That's Frogman right there from Mega Man 3. So, are we ready? Are we ready? And yes, Rodgers is gonna have a nice big diarrhea stain in the second half when he's running. He's gonna go, oh shit! Yeah, he's gonna have that big old diarrhea stain right there in the back of his pants, and he's gonna go, oh man! Referees are gonna have to come out and go, oh god, man, oh. They're gonna have to spray Rodgers down, man, with some weird, Lysol, give him a pledge maybe, and tell him, here, I am not a meatball. Here's some soap. Hit the showers. You stink anyway. And Belichick, I'm glad he got his ass kicked. He needed to get his ass kicked. And it's called, oh man, you're in your 70s. Take a chill pill. Relax. You're dating a 25-year-old cheerleader. What the hell you bitching at? You got nothing to worry about. Just change your underwear once in a while if you can find it. Well, get ready, folks. 5 more days from now, we're gonna have a nice barbecue of Aaron Rodgers being cooked like hamburger and beef and some good steaks. And also, we might throw some chicken on that grill. Hell, I might even throw some good surprises on there. You know what I might just do? Get a frying pan, get some of that good fashioned, get some lard, put it all in that pan, make it good, and get some chicken in there and fry that son bitch right up. And we gonna turn up the heat, and we're gonna make sure it's gonna get hot, 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 while the Steelers are getting smoked. And to add to that fuel, the best hot sauce for some chicken. This is what's gonna go on Rodgers' ass when he's running his ass all the way to the bathroom. He's gonna go, ooh, oh shit, I'm on fire. And then when he's sitting down on the toilet and his ass is burning, he's gonna need a fire extinguisher and a bidet to wash his ass. He's gonna go, oh God, oh God. Yeah, that's what Aaron Rodgers will be doing. He'll be screaming his way out the toilet, thinking, he should have thought twice. He better think again, because in our house, this is our home. New York City's not for him. It's called, you had your fun, you had your time. See you later, alligator. I hope he has a nice time on the toilet. And I'm not going to waste my time on other shit that doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, Beast. All right, one last call, then we'll do the raffle. But first, thank you to Gil for entering the raffle. He's in for one. Jets jersey raffle coming up shortly. But first, Nick Shine will close us out today. Hello, Nick.
What's up, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
You need to capitalize on this, because Beast, at times during his rants, does make some good trash talking points. And if this Colts guy last year, Ryan, went famous for those songs, I think Gator can clip something together that we try to make go viral and let Beast be the trash talker for the New York Jets fans.
I don't know if any of us want that. We want that guy as our representation?
No, this is our Beast. This is his attic.
I was so underwhelmed, by the way, I was so excited when the schedule came out last year. We knew the Jets were playing the Colts, and we were going to get that fan to do the song for.
It was the worst one of the whole year. It was the worst one he did.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Let's ground the almighty Rodgers, I think it was.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was very bad, man. Good show today, man. I was at the gym. I was listening. A lot of good callers coming in. You could tell the season's getting here when you see people popping in that haven't been here in a while or at all. So good show. It was fun listening to. And, GreenBean's a GOAT. So I just wanted to chime in and say good show today, bro.
Thank you, Nick Shine. I am looking forward to the upcoming season. And I said it earlier, you and I are going to get together this week, and we're going to be distributing the actual game tickets for the Panthers game for everyone who purchased. So we'll get that taken care of by the end of the week. And we'll have all the info on the tailgate. It's already out there. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer. But for those who asked, we're going to send some emails with your actual tickets from the Jets themselves. Now, I have received all of them to the people who purchased them.
Now, people have asked me, and in the past, parking passes. You get a link like a week or two before that people can log into and get their own parking pass, right?
People could buy them. I believe it's at a discounted rate as well for that.
I believe so. Okay, cool. I had a couple questions about that, and that just popped into my head. But yeah, people, if you're coming to the tailgate, check Jake's show, my show, our Discords. We have the info there. Send me the money, and we'll push it over to Tailgate Joe. And the day of the game, just see me when you get there. I'll be there as soon as the gates open at 8 o'clock. We'll be camped out at E26. I'll give you your bracelet. Tailgate opens at 9. Eat and drink, be merry, have fun, and let's kick some Panther ass that day.
Can they kick some Aaron Rodgers and some Steelers ass on Sunday, Nick? Are the Jets going to win?
They can. Yeah, this is a game they can win, right? we'll break it down more thoroughly tomorrow, but I'm leaning that way. I think the matchups, aside for the TJ Watt matchup, and if we can find a way with double teams, chip blocks, rolling out, moving the pocket away from him, I don't see many other matchups that worry me. I like our matchup with them against the run. I like our matchup with our defense bringing pressure against their defensive line. I like a lot of the individual matchups that will determine a game. I think it's going to come down to a kicker. I like our kicker a lot. So I think the matchups within the matchup are more in our favor than people are giving us credit for, because they're going off the history. They're going the mighty Steelers, the low down dirty Jets, and it's a new day. It's a new day with Aaron Glenn, and I'm really looking forward to the identity he brings to this team and how they play, and just watching a passionate, excited team and fan base again, man, because we've been kicked while we're down. We kick each other while we're down. The kicking doesn't stop. So hopefully it's a great day. For those of you who like to do a watch along, I will be doing a watch along for the game Sunday. Jake, I know you can't participate in those. You're too much of a lunatic, but you will have the link when we start to close the game down. You might have to pop in before you go live.
No. I can't do that. But at halftime, maybe I could pop in if it's a good first half and I'm in a good mood, because I'm watching the game from home. I'm excited about this. I will be off the air at 12, going to order some food, sit down, watch this game. I'll be like right here, literally. So if the Jets are doing well at halftime, maybe I'll pop in for some halftime thoughts with you.
Nice. I know if they're not doing well, you have to save that rant for your show. I totally get that.
Then I'm just going to be disgusted. No one's going to I don't want my unfiltered thoughts to be unleashed that early.
Tell GreenBean cursing will be allowed during that part.
Oh yeah.
But thanks for taking my call. I'll see you tomorrow morning, man. Can't wait. I'm excited for this.
Nick Shine will be with us tomorrow, 10 a.m. talking all things Jets throughout the season. Looking forward to that. Hey, huge shout out to our last two raffle participants here. Green Gang getting in for 5. He gifted 5 channel memberships. He's playing to win a Jets jersey.
Hello. You play to win the game.
And our new top 3 prizes, Sauce Sign jersey, Weeb Eubank signed helmet, Broadway Joe Namath signed jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Sharp says 5 more days. That's right, Sean. 5 more days till Jets football. Let's go, Aaron Glenn.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
And then a holy bleep, Frank P. The best birthday gift for me today would to win a jersey for Stack. Put these in for him, please. Been trying for a while to get him one. Wow, that's incredibly kind of you, Frank. Happy birthday, first things first. We all truly appreciate your support on the show and the Discord. How about that? $50 super chat on Frank's birthday. Everyone in the chat right now, make sure you wish one of our longtime listeners, Frank P., a happy birthday. He just gave 10 memberships to Stack. Let's go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amazing. Amazing. Happy birthday, Frank. Hope you have a great birthday. Let's see. Daz says, if the Jets start hard and fast, the Steelers will crumble. I hope you're right. Sean says, JTU Sunday ticket. Yes, I do. Got the Red Zone channel, got Sunday ticket, got all of it. Now, what's annoying is the Jets and Giants playing at the same time. I know most Jet fans really could care less about the Giants. My job requires me to know, just as much about the Giants as I do the Jets when it comes to radio, right? Especially because I'm doing this weekly football show with Mike Tannenbaum. So I have 3 TVs in my living room in my apartment. So I'll have my plan for Sunday is Jets on the main screen, Giants on the other, Red Zone on the third. So that'll be my plan. But I hate when the Jets and Giants play at the same time, especially early in the year. I am Sauce, LOL says, you're not going Sunday because of radio. Yeah, I mean, if someone's got a ticket, Would I think about it? Sure, but I wouldn't be able to tailgate. That. Look, I know we're all optimistic. That might end up being the best part of the day because if I just show up for the game and they lose, I'm going to be miserable. So, and the Jets don't have any 4 o'clock games, so it's tough. Now, if someone has a helicopter they want to loan, and you will helicopter me from Soho, Manhattan to East Rutherford, New Jersey, then I'm in. But it's tough. Peter says Justin needs to complete the passes. Thank you, Peter. I agree. The key to the Jets winning is their starting quarterback to, yes, in fact, complete the passes. All right, I'm putting the raffle names together right now, so we are going to spin this wheel shortly. Make sure you guys have hit the like button and are subscribed to the channel. We are caught up on Super Chats. Fantastic. Love it. Jets Johnny. Jake, I got a helicopter. Why didn't you ask earlier? Yeah. Tom A says NJ Transit, light rail to MetLife. Even like an Uber might be quicker. But it'd be cutting it close to like kickoff. I want to be in my seat, ready to roll, not like walking in as the quarter already started. On that note, you're ready for a raffle. I'm ready for a raffle. We are all ready for a raffle. Raffle of Champions is coming up right after we pay homage to our great country.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Beautiful. Raffle time.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Dealer's Choice Jets jersey. Quincy, Quinnen, JJ, who I can't wait to see back out there this week. Sauce, Garrett, and QB1, Justin Fields. Those are the jersey choices. On your screen is the Wheel of Champions. For the 4th time today, we are going to spin the Wheel of Champions. If you win, you have to email me your name, your address, your size, the color you want the jersey in, green or white, and obviously the player whose jersey you want. Good luck to everyone. Thanks to everyone who's entered. But there could be one winner, only one winner, and that winner is Green Gang 365. How about it? He was a late entry into the raffle. He gifted 5 memberships at 10:59 a.m. And that got it done for a diehard Jet fan who came all the way from Baltimore to attend our meetup at the Cloverleaf Tavern last month at Chef Kevin's restaurant. Awesome. Awesome job by Green Gang. He's the winner. Hit the Jet chant. Congrats, Green Gang. Thank you very much for your continued support. Thanks to everyone for their support. Shoot me an email, Green Gang, and we will get that jersey ordered for you this week. On that note, we're back this afternoon, so stick around for that. We'll be live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Season preview with Robbie Sabo. We'll go inside the matchup with him. How do the Jets win week 1? Sabo breaks it down for us this afternoon. Until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hey, join my Patreon if you haven't. Now's the time to join the Patreon. You save 15% when you sign up for the year. Season tier, Let's Go Jets, 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 Jets.
Lane, what's going on?
I don't think the Buffalo Bills could wear white if the Jets were wearing white. It doesn't make sense. Garrett Wilson and the Jets have a new coach. His name is going to be no more Robert Saleh. He also has to keep talking to his players going into the locker room. Attention, please. We have to do better going into tonight's game. We have to play better. We got to move the ball around. We have to focus more. And we also have to do a lot of other passing.
So they need to hear that before week 1.
Yeah, and it's funny how you put me in a suit in the draft and I Wait, you did that? Or you took somebody's suit and put it on me? The pick goes to Knoble out of college. You gonna pick a blue suit for me? What am I, Anchorman? From I looked like from that movie, the Anchorman movie. I'll let you go. Bye.
You can't teach greatness, folks.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't? You can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.